Welcome, everybody, to Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration. Blake Gwynn, Marcus Carlton here with you on the call. You like football? We got football, and one of the best places to come and visit if you're a football fan is Pocahontas High School, as the Warriors have traveled here tonight for this game. Passionate crowd, big crowd on hand tonight as the Warriors get set to take on the Pocahontas Redskins. 5-2 and 3-1 for the Redskins, and 2-4, 2-2 on the season for Westside. Playoff implications are starting to come into view as we begin this game tonight, Marcus.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is one that, you could almost say this is a little bit of a trap game for Pocahontas, but there's developed a little bit of a rivalry over the past few years in this game. Last time we were here a couple years ago, it had a controversial ending, and it just kind of built from there.
And we are kicking things off, wasting no time here in Pocahontas. Opening kickoff is bobbled, but it is picked back up and moved on forward short of the 25, and that is where Westside will begin their first drive of the game. Montana Neely receiving the opening kickoff for Westside.
Yeah, not what you want to see on the opening kickoff, but he recovered well and made positive yardage out of it, so you got to take the silver lining there of not losing anything.
Not terrible field position, but not the best ever for Westside, starting the drive at their own 23. They'll need to go 77 yards if they're going to punch this one in as the game is underway. Handoff goes to Darvin Fowler to start things off. Gets about 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Speaking of Darvin Fowler, Cameron Hedger hurting that foot, ankle type situation in the previous game. He is questionable tonight. We don't see him on that opening drive. Darvin Fowler is going to be critical.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Hedger tonight. The way he left the game last week on that, we'll just call it a lower foot injury because I don't know specifically what it was, but that's a tough loss. And then you're already down Connor Crane in your backfield as well. So a lot of Darvin Fowler on the agenda tonight.
Fowler's had a good couple of games, been the leading rusher in each of the previous contests. That's a handoff to the fullback up the middle. It's going to bring us to third down. It's going to be 3rd and 5 now for the Warriors on their opening drive of this game.
Yeah, nice little run there by Michael Ivey. He's kind of been thrown into the fire a little bit with these injuries that have hit the backfield, and with Westside relying on the run so heavily, nothing like good baptism by fire.
Absolutely. It's Ivey and Caleb Mueller and Darvin Fowler in the backfield for the Warriors. One receiver out right. Handoff goes to Fowler, and he is stopped short. It's going to be a quick 3 and out for the Warriors to start this game.
Yeah, you got to figure that Redskin defense is going to key in on Fowler, especially with seeing him in the tailback position the last couple weeks. Anytime 22 gets the ball tonight, they're going to be all over him, I'm afraid.
Easy to key in. That's your big playmaker. You pretty well know he's going to get a vast majority of the runs.
Absolutely.
Gus Yurda to punt now for the Warriors.
Looks like they're coming after it.
Kick is away. It's a decent kick by Yurda. It's picked up at the 40. Attempt to make a run taken down past the 45. That was Harrison Carter on the punt reception for Pocahontas. Not a bad punt for Yurda. Redskins will start their drive on their own 48.
Blake, I think what we're going to see tonight with this Pocahontas offense is, if you've watched any of their games this year, there's been a lot of Connor Baker. I said in the pregame that he's kind of their version of Matt Jones, just does a little bit of everything. And so I think he's a little better, actually, when the play kind of breaks down and he just has to improvise.
Yeah, absolutely. Connor Baker was one of the leading rusher for the team in the previous season, not playing at quarterback. Now you got him in the backfield. It is going to be a keeper to Baker to start the game, but a good stop by Westside's defense brings up a quick second down.
Yeah, it looks like that was Yurda there, grabbed him around the ankle, and you just got to make sure you're in the right position because Baker is so quick that he can be by you in a flash, but it didn't work out for him there.
1,400 yards and 20 TDs on the ground a year ago for Baker. Now he plays at quarterback.
Yeah, that's a pretty good season.
Yep. And dangerous dual threat, about as good of a dual threat as you're going to get at this level. Second down carry gets Pocahontas ahead of the chains. Going to bring up third down and short as they move it ahead.
I believe that was Reagan. Was that Reagan Womack?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Reagan Womack, the sophomore running back, get a ton of carries tonight for Pocahontas. Third down and short. Baker runs it up the middle and is stopped by the Westside defense, forcing a fourth down. That is a tackle for a loss.
That's a great stop right there. Gang tackle, first man to him, holds him up until his teammates can get there to help him out, and that's a huge stop right there for the Westside defense. But it looks like Pocahontas is going to line up and go for it here on fourth. This could be a huge statement right here for the Westside defense if they could get the stop here.
Fourth down and 3. Motion comes to the left from Reed Bigger. Run out to the left side, punch up the middle, and it's close.
I think
very
he's got
close.
it.
I do think he's got it, and they're going to probably have to measure this as he is near that first down marker. Still a good stop by that Westside D, but it looks like he got the 3 yards he needed.
I think he got, they're going to measure it, but, no, he said he's short.
Without a measurement, they call a turnover on downs, and you know where one official was standing, Marcus, versus where they placed the football. Went a little bit in Westside's favor. Again, I think that may be a decent call.
Yeah,
but that's
I'm
a
surprised
turnover
they
on
didn't
downs.
measure it. I'm really surprised they didn't measure it. I mean, I'm not going to argue it, but that's a huge momentum swing right off the bat for the Westside offense to stop Pocahontas on fourth down.
That's a huge play, and like you said, Pocahontas, you want that measurement, but Westside's running offense, so we're headed back the other way, and it's a great, great defensive stand for Westside to start a game against a tough opponent. And
that does so much for both sides of the ball early on to have that kind of momentum from your defense on the first drive. You know, you've got Pocahontas has a pretty high-octane offense, but to get them stopped on fourth down, that makes such a statement early on.
Second down and 8 now for the Warriors. In the typical power I for Westside. Fowler is in the backfield, as well as Caleb Mueller and Michael Ivey. Goes to Fowler. Fowler moves ahead, hit pretty well immediately by the Redskins. It'll be third down and about 6 now for the Warriors.
Here comes Cameron Hedger. See his first action in the game, so he's going to give it a go on that. I don't remember if it was a right leg or left leg that he injured, but he's not 100%, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, boy, that looked rough.
It did. It really did.
It's surprising to see him out here after the way that looked last week. Happy to see him. We'll see how much they lean on him tonight. Probably not going to be the heavy workload guy that we're used to seeing. It does go to Hedger right out of the gate. Hey, don't put him in the game if you're not going to use him.
That's right.
It's going to bring up fourth down at about 6. He doesn't quite get it, but Westside's in a position you might think about going for it here.
I would roll the dice here. Just why not? You've made one statement on defense already. Why not try to make one on offense as well? You know, you're at midfield, so I like the call here to go for it.
Bobby Ingles never been shy from taking the gamble, and he's going to do it here. Big fourth down play. We saw one for Pocahontas on offense. Now it's Westside's turn. Fourth and about 4 for the Warriors. Snap is bobbled, busted play. Yurda is tackled in the backfield by Peyton Liebhaber.
Not sure what happened there, but there was definite miscommunication from the snap on that. I'm not sure if the center snapped it early or what happened. I tend to think that with it being 4th and 3, maybe Westside was going to go for that hard call, count, and not everybody got the message.
That typically, when you see the quarterback, especially Gus Yurda, who's not done that really all season long, bobble that snap, it's typically an early snap by the center. First and 10 now after a turnover on downs for the Redskins. Been a defensive affair so far with about 6 minutes left in the quarter. It's a keeper by Baker. Bounces off a one tackle, hits the sideline, and is finally forced out of bounds by Gavin Rasden, but not after a first down for Pocahontas.
Yeah, and you see just how quick his steps can be right there because they had him wrapped up, and he juked his way out of one guy and gained the first down.
Pocahontas has been involved in a lot of high-scoring games already this year. This one's starting off defensively, but high-scoring affairs mostly for Pocahontas to start this season. Baker carries out right, had the option to throw, chooses to tuck and run. He's got at least 5 and then battles on ahead, and a gutsy run for Connor Baker gets them near that first down marker once again.
Yeah, the second effort on that took him from a 5-yard gain to about an 8 or maybe a 9-yard gain there. That was an impressive run by the quarterback, and I think we'll see a lot of that tonight.
This Pocahontas team's a team that scored some points, and they will score points. Rushing play out to the right-hand side. That's Grayson Maupin. Gets the first down for Pocahontas. 5:30 left to play in this first quarter as now the Redskins are moving the football.
Yeah, the offensive line for Pocahontas opened up a huge hole right there. He was probably a good 3 or 4 yards down the field before anybody touched him.
In the gun for Pocahontas. It's a read option kept by Baker, stopped by the Warriors after a gain of about 2. Good defensive stop there for Westside. It brings up second down.
Yeah, good stop there, man. And that's a tough situation to be in because you're trying to read that to see if he's going to hand it off or keep it. And it's, kudos to those guys for staying at home on their assignment.
2nd and 8 now for Pocahontas. It's the gun once again. Motion comes to the right side from Harrison Carter. Pass goes out left side, headed up the sideline. Got one guy to beat, dives into the end zone, and Carter scores. Touchdown, Pocahontas.
Made that look easy.
It's a 15-yard touchdown pass between Connor Baker and Harrison Carter, and it puts Pocahontas on the board first.
Well, and just when you think, you've got Connor Baker kind of hemmed up to where he's, not making a whole lot of yardage on the ground, he turns and tosses almost like a little screen pass out to his left, and next thing you know, you're down 6-0, about to be 7 probably.
Good kick is up and away. And that makes it 7-0. Pocahontas strikes first on a 15-yard strike between Connor Baker and Harrison Carter. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
We talked about early Connor Baker being a dual threat. If you watch this game from the start, you're probably going, where's that dual part of it? And you just saw it. He runs a good offense. Man goes in motion. He puts it to Harrison Carter, who makes a gutsy run ahead for a 15-yard touchdown, and it's 7-0 Pocahontas.
Yeah, Carter had 2 defenders in front of him, and he ran over one and around the other one and found pay dirt.
Well, this offense, Charles Beatty and his crew
they just reload. I mean, you thought they might have a little drop-off. Waiting to see what happens. Okay. You thought they might have a little drop-off after Chester moves on. He was a prolific quarterback for the Redskins for 3. I think he may have even played some as a freshman. I mean, it seemed like he was here forever. He moves on, and they slide Connor Baker over from the running back position over a quarterback, and the offense hasn't missed much of a beat.
And it has been what's been impressive since Charles Beatty has been. Really, the Pocahontas football lineage is impressive in general in the way that they've been able to sustain success in a long period of time. But Charles Beatty has taken it to new heights, and in a way that Dave Williams would be proud of the way this program's been built. Ivy gets the carry this time and just doesn't get much. That Pocahontas front has been tough.
It really has.
Second down. They do give him a pretty good spot on that. It's going to be second down and 6.
Yeah, got a couple of really good spots early on here for Westside. Hopefully that'll continue through the night.
You've seen Pocahontas, seems like they've been able to, run a spread-type offense consistently year in and year out.
Yes.
They have high numbers, which is indicative of a good coaching staff.
Well, and they love their football here at Pocahontas. I mean, this is close to home for me, and that's a good run by Hedger. Looks like he might be about a half-yard short, maybe.
Hedger does get the carry. And he's close, and they do give him the first down.
Okay.
Good first down. Cameron Hedger makes an impact on this game on his second rush of the game.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what I was saying, I'm a Randolph County native, so, I mean, I've been around this Pocahontas program from a distance for a long time, and it's, they love their football here. It's always been that way. I mean, the stands are always packed. The whole town comes out for it. It's kind of cool to watch, actually.
It is one of those towns that you want to get an identity of the city. You can come to a football game on a Friday night.
Absolutely.
And you're going to figure out who they are. Hedger gets his third carry of the night and moves ahead. Big stop there for Pocahontas, but he does pick up about 4 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. Second down and 6.
So far, Hedger doesn't look to be slowed very much at all. I mean, he looks like Cameron Hedger.
He might be half a step to a step slow, but I mean, ultimately he's pretty well a step or two ahead of people most of the time.
Right.
He may, but he doesn't look limited.
No, not at all.
I don't know that I'd call him that. He may be limited in time tonight, but they're leaving him out here for what is his third straight possession as far as third straight snap on the field. Second and 6. Hands it off up the middle once again. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 4 situation now for Westside as they're kind of playing their game on offense at this point.
Yeah, I think, you'll see a typical Westside game, try to milk as much time off the clock as possible. Probably won't snap it with more than 5 or 6 seconds left on the play clock. We're down to 2:24 in the first quarter already here, and the clock continues to roll.
Westside over the years has – and I'm hesitant to say this part, but they've beaten teams that seem to be on paper a little better than they are by dominating the clock. And that's kind of their game. They come into a game that on paper they should probably get beaten by this squad, but they end up eating some time off the clock, and that is not what you wanted on third down as Hedger is stopped well behind the line of scrimmage. And it brings up 4th and 5, and it's probably going to be punt time
I believe
for the Warriors.
Jack Privet, I believe, who broke through the line there and met him in the backfield and put that run to a stop before it got started, honestly.
You gain a couple yards there. Even if you bring up 4th down, you can think about going for it. But against this defense of the Redskins, you're not going to go for it on 4th and 5 in your own territory. Yerda punts it away. Another good end over in punt. Takes a Warriors bounce down to the 15-yard line. And again, we don't talk about Gus Yerda, the punter, enough, but a great punt by Gus Yerda.
Yeah, he definitely flipped the field with that punt, and he was under pressure too. Pocahontas is sending the house against those punts tonight early on, and Yerda just stays cool back there and gets his kick off, and he got a good roll to assist him with that one.
He, again, as a guy, you're not going to call his name out if you're the in-arena or in-stadium public address or play-by-play guy, because he doesn't pass it a lot, but doesn't make a lot of mistakes on the offensive side of the ball, plays well defensively, and then also is a great punter. He's a big role player for this team.
Absolutely.
Carry goes up the middle, and there's trouble in the defensive secondary for Westside. Baker going up the sideline, finally pushed out of bounds, but not before a gigantic gain of about 50 yards. For Pocahontas.
Well, there you see it on display.
There's a flag down in the backfield.
We talked about the speed of Connor Baker, but this one may be coming back where that flag is hold. So, looks like we've got a hold on Pocahontas. So, dodge the bullet there for Westside.
Big bullet dodge. And really, the part of that run that was not great defensively for Westside was not the part where there was the hold. It might have helped him get out of the backfield, but ultimately there was some busting in that secondary. Guys were cheating a little bit the opposite way on the ball fake, and off he went. So the holding penalty makes it 1st and 20.
Yeah, you gotta take advantage of that. Since Pocahontas handed you a gift there, you've got to take advantage of it. 1:12 left here in the first quarter. Fast-moving first quarter.
112.
I probably jinxed us for the rest of the night. But.
You may have. I was kind of thinking the same thing myself up until that point. Screen pass out left side, and they regain every bit of the yardage that they lost previously on the pass out to the left-hand side. Pass was to Grayson Maupin out on the screen.
Well, and that's a big asset for Baker, because when he's got weapons like that he can just, make a little almost I don't want to call it a flip, but it's not much of a pass. It's just almost like a little lob out to the side, and you get those guys in space and let them do their thing.
Motion right-hand side from Maupin.
Yeah, I think we got a false start.
And we do have a false start coming for Pocahontas, and a frustrating offensive drive as penalties have murdered a drive here.
Yeah, it looked like one of the receivers got a little bit of a head start there from our vantage point anyway.
Like you said, those screen passes, they're not hard. They're not hard passes to make. They need to be well executed.
Yes.
But they're in a position to where if you get your timing right on the motion, they're set up very, very well to gain at least 5 yards.
Right.
Typically.
Well, and when you've got athletic guys like Pocahontas always has, you get your one-on-one matchups on guys out in space. You'll take that every time. It's just like right here, the little wide receiver screen.
There's another screen. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd down and 10 for Pocahontas. That was well defended. Good battle there on that.
That was
side.
even with him getting by the first defender, you had help there in the secondary to make sure that he didn't turn that into a first down. And we're down inside of 27 seconds left in the first half here. Pocahontas looks like they'll have to run one more play. There's about 3 seconds difference between the play clock and the game. Actually, the play clock is behind, so we may not see another play.
Yeah, it looks like they're
going
to step up. 10 seconds left.
They're going to get one more off.
From Maupin. Baker scrambles around in the pocket.
And this is where he's dangerous when things break down. Oh, my goodness, what a good juke there.
Athletic run picks up the first down for Pocahontas as Connor Baker
slow to get up too.
Ran the defense in a circle. He is still down on the field. The first quarter has ended as he's taking his helmet off. It is 7-0 Pocahontas. We do have Connor Baker down on the field. We'll update you on that when we come back. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigerator.
Fox's Pizza Den in Bono is now under new ownership. New owner Gene Roberts and the team at Fox's strive to bring you excellent customer service and the absolute best pizza. Fox's Pizza uses only the finest ingredients and freshest vegetables, sliced and prepared daily to ensure the best quality for your order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, let Fox's fill your craving. Locally owned and operated, Fox's Pizza in Bono.
Quarterback for Pocahontas, Connor Baker, is up and off the field. Looks to be moving around okay, so hopefully we'll see him soon in this one. The first quarter ended 7-0 Pocahontas. 1 touchdown between Connor Baker and Harrison Carter for 15 yards has us on the board. Baker picked up the first down prior to the end of the quarter with his legs, and that was just a nasty run by that guy.
That really was. I mean, that's, as we talked about earlier, that's when he's at his best, is when plays break down and he improvises and goes backyard football. I mean, you see the kind of speed and quickness that he has. I mean, he picked up the first down. He took a hard shot there at the end. I think it rung his bell a little bit, but he got up under his own power and is still in the huddle, so that's good to see.
That run was, it's hard to describe.
It's very Matt Jones-esque because
yes.
he ran about 35 yards to pick up 15. And
yes.
that's the closest comparison that I know to make is, how many times did you see Matt Jones do that kind of thing for Arkansas, back several years ago, about 15 years ago now. It's hard to believe that, but
it does not seem like it should be that long. First down for Pocahontas now. New set of downs headed the other way. Maupin rumbles ahead, and it's going to be 2nd down and 6 for Pocahontas.
So you see Reagan Womack actually took that snap under center because of Baker's helmet coming off. He
yes.
had to come out for one play, but Baker's back on the field now. So
that's what you want to see immediately.
Yeah.
Charles Beatty and Pocahontas faithful. Gun again for the Redskins, and flags are away. False start on Pocahontas. Bring them right back to the line of scrimmage.
And this last possession, the Pocahontas offense seems to be a little bit out of sync here. That's a second false start in about 4 plays. So there's a communication breakdown somewhere.
It's just not something you normally see out of them either.
No, they're usually pretty disciplined from that perspective, and they don't have the self-inflicted wounds, so to speak.
Normally a clean game, especially on the offensive side of the ball for Pocahontas. And like you said, just a little out of rhythm. The false start's indicative of that. 2nd down and 11. Motion right, so we're going to have 3 guys out to the right. Baker has some pressure but evades that pressure. Now he's in trouble, collapsed upon by the defense and steps out of bounds for a loss. Brings up 3rd down and 12 as the Redskins faithful on a late hit out of bounds. I don't know how you could see that, although we're a long way away.
We're a long way away. There's, you know, that's a hard thing to see from our vantage point. You know, the Redskin faithful are going to be protective of their main weapon. You know, and he gets close to the sideline. Hard for us to tell if he was fighting for more yardage or if he'd given himself up. So
3rd and 13. This is where you got to get a stop. You can't allow a 1st down here if you're Westside. Baker rolls out, gives it a heave, and it is almost intercepted as Montana Neely had the position in and out of his hands. Does bring up 4th down as Baker threw into coverage, and here comes the punt team for Charles Beatty's crew.
Well, the good news is that you don't allow the conversion there. The bad news is you had the interception in your hands, and it finds its way out. So, you know, get the 4th down, you can, you know, force the punt, but man, you talk about another momentum swing if you can pull the pick right there.
Montana had it just, I mean, he was just set up for it.
He may have been looking at all that green grass in front of him before
he may have been. That's a rough
kick. That is not much of a punt right there.
Bounces, does take a Redskins bounce, ends up getting out just shy of the 50. So good field position anyway. But like you said, that may have set up for a pick 6 for Neely. Goes in and out of his hands, but good stop.
Yeah.
All that aside, good stop, good defensive series for Westside.
Overall, the defense for Westside has played really well for the first quarter and for the first minute and a half of this second quarter, as we have 10:31 left here in the second quarter. You know, they had the one breakdown that led to the score, but overall, you know, they're getting stops on 3rd down for the most part. Now, they've got a couple gifts with Pocahontas having some penalties, but you take the advantage of those when they give them to you.
New set of downs now coming after the punt for the Warriors. 10:31 left to play in the half. Goes to Hedger up the middle, battling up ahead. Sore foot, ankle, whatever the injury was and all. He gets 4. 2nd down and 6 coming for the Warriors.
And that's what Westside needs. They need, you know, 4 to 5 yards on 1st down to stay ahead of the chains and get down to that 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 situation. If they can do that consistently, then that's exactly where Coach Inkle wants the offense to be, is that 3rd and short where you have a multitude of options there.
Got about half of what he needed. It's going to end up being 2nd down and 5. Hedger in the backfield. Fowler up back spot. Looks like Ivy in the fullback spot, and a timeout is going to be taken by Westside with 9:40 left to play in the half. Pocahontas leads it 7-0.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
2nd down and 5 coming your way from Pocahontas as the Warriors have traveled here to take on the home team, the Pocahontas Redskins. 2nd down and 5, 9:40 left to play in the half. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration. Hedger in the backfield. Up back is Darvin Fowler. Pitch out to Hedger. Hedger trying to turn the corner. Dodges one tackle, gets around the corner, picks up the first down, pushed out of bounds at the 35. Great run and a great move by Cameron Hedger to set that run off.
Yeah, breaking the tackle there and then getting the second effort to move forward for the first down. That's huge for Westside to keep this offense on the field and keep moving the ball. You know, you've got a prime opportunity here. You started with a short field, and now you pick up a first down.
New set of downs from the 37. Hedger, again, just not questionable coming into this game, not looking limited really at all.
No, I mean, he's, as I said earlier, he looks like Cameron Hedger right now, so that's a good thing for the Warriors.
Only two backs in the backfield this time. It goes to Ivy in the fullback spot.
Nice push.
And he pushes on ahead. Looks like a fullback right there on that run and brings up a second down, and Westside is ahead of the chains.
Yeah, that was a great run right there. Great push by the offensive line, and Ivy got up there in the middle of it and then just pushed the pile to put Westside up, second and about 4?
Yep, second and 4.5, 5.
Yeah, they've got 5 on the board. Maybe a short 5.
From the 32, under 9 minutes now left to play in the half. Warriors try to equalize. Blitz comes. Bootleg for Yurda. Finds some room. Gets a block. Heads towards the sideline. Past the 10. Headed for the end zone. Pushed down at the 2-yard line. And it's Gus Yurda on the bootleg to put Westside within scoring distance.
That's a great run there by Yurda. He got some good blocking downfield. Stayed behind his blockers as long as he could, and then just, did the rest on his own and puts Westside inside the 5-yard line. Looks like they're going to be down at about the 2. Big opportunity right here for the Warriors.
Spotted at the 4, so it's first and goal from the 4. That was a well-executed offensive play.
Yes.
Lots of blocks, great run, great vision by Yurda. Yurda hands it off to Fowler. Fowler moves ahead, and he is in. Marked.
Golly, I thought he got in.
Just short. And maybe it's the angle we have, but I'm going to tell you, I thought he was down at about the 2 to start with. And
I did too.
That one looked like he was in. No replay, so it's going to be second down and 1 from the 1. Well, really actually about a half yard really to go here.
Watch for the quarterback sneak here with Yurda. Would not surprise me to see that here.
Hedger, Fowler, Ivy in the backfield. Yurda under center. Second down and goal. Yurda punches it in.
We got flags.
We may have a false start.
I think we do. I think we have a false start.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough penalty there for the Warriors.
Man, that's a gut shot right there.
Really an unnecessary one. You're on the half-yard line. You can pretty well have Yurda fall forward and in.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be second and goal from the 6 for Westside. 7:44 left to play in the half.
Yeah, changes your game plan just a tad here. Man, I was looking like the Swami there for just a second. about ready to break my arm, patting myself on the back for that.
It was the correct call. It just was negated. Hedger rolls out right side. We got a hold. That one's probably
that's coming back.
Hedger does score. And we're backing up. That's going to be a hold on, looks like it's probably going to be on Evan Burton.
Yeah, that's. I think that's right. That's the flag almost hit him when the referee threw not the referee, but the back judge threw the flag there.
He pretty well knew it, too. He turned around and just kind of told the official, like, man, I hate you got me on that one, but you got me that. Now, these are two tough penalties here because you were knocking on the door, really had the score twice now.
Yeah.
You've scored. And it's going to be third down and goal. Let's see where we take this one back. Oh, it's coming way back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10-yarder.
Yeah, so we're from the spot where the foul occurred. It's second down and goal from the 20.
Wow. Man, man, that's a hard luck turn of events right there with a couple of penalties. Really, neither one was necessary because the hold was called on the opposite side of the field from the way the play ran.
And
that's tough. That's
against a team like Pocahontas.
Yeah, I mean, you had your opportunity there, and your self-inflicted wounds have knocked you back to the 20 now.
Pitch out to Hedger, trying to make something happen. Fowler leading on the block and trips over Fowler and the guy he was engaged with. It's going to gain about 3 or 4 yards. Going to be 3rd down and goal from about the 17.
Yeah.
Quick pace of play continues. Under 7 minutes now left to play in the half. 3rd and goal from the 16. See what Bobby Engel draws up for this kind of unique situation. Hedger moves ahead, goes right up the middle, and
I think they're wanting to get it lined up for Alls to come in and try a field goal here.
It is within Hayden All's kicking distance. It's 4th down now. 4th down and goal from about the 12.
Well, and we're not seeing Hayden Alls come onto the field here, so looks like the offense is going to stay, and they're going to go for this here.
Here comes the
here it comes.
kick
Okay.
team now. Maybe trying to force some personnel changes, see if you can get an illegal substitution, something like that. Is kind of a late bring on. We're about to have to call a timeout.
Yeah.
Yep. As the play clock was ticking down, Bobby Engel calls a timeout. That's their 2nd of the half. They've got 1 remaining. 5:43 left to play in the half as Westside looks to be ready to attempt a field goal. We'll be right back here on Tubetown.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
5:43 left in the half as Westside is 4th and goal from the 12 after a series of penalties, a false start and then a holding. Hayden Alls is on the field for the Warriors to attempt the field goal. Looks like it'll be about maybe a 29-yarder.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Just quick math.
Yeah, and that's not my strong suit. It's how I ended up in broadcasting. Low snap, kick is up, got the distance, and now it's in. Oh man, boy, and it was close. It had the distance, and Hayden Alls misses the 29-yarder.
He definitely had the distance on that. He had distance for another good 10 yards there, but man, that is heartbreaking for the Westside offense to come up empty on that possession after being at about, what were they at, about the 2-yard line before the penalties, half-yard line before the penalties started?
Yeah, you were
that's tough.
About a half-yard line there.
Yeah,
and you
that's tough.
You ended up, 2nd goal from your 20.
That is just a tough one to deal with right there. But you've got to move on and can't let that hurt you anymore because it's gone and you can't get it back.
Carry out left side for Harrison Carter, and he gets about 8 yards. Brings up 2nd down for the Redskins. Yeah, that one, well, you just felt like that's a big early game. That's something you're going to probably turn the page back to later. Against a team like Pocahontas that can score, you have a chance to tie the game up from the half-yard line, then you back up, and then can't even get the field goal in there. That's just a tough offensive possession. But all you can do now is get a defensive stop, as you said.
Yeah, defense has played very well. You got to hope that continues here to kind of keep this Pocahontas offense off kilter a little bit.
Pass out right side is dropped, intended for Grayson Muppet.
That's
maybe a backwards pass. The ball is live. Westside's picked it up, and it is indicating a touchdown by Justin McFall.
How about the awareness of McFall there to stay with that and play through the whistle as you're taught. The whistle never blew, so he goes and picks it up, and he's got himself a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
That is a play that is kind of difficult to figure out. It was borderline between whether it was a forward pass or not. McFall stays with the play, scoops and scores for 6 for Westside.
Yeah, kudos to him, as I said, for staying with it, because a lot of guys would have given up on that play. As we saw, pretty much the entire Pocahontas offense gave up on that play.
And you want to talk about defense picking up your offense. That's it right there. Alls's kick for the extra point is away, and this game is tied. We are knotted up at 7 after Justin McFall scoops and scores on the backwards pass. Well, we got a game here in Pocahontas. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Where it all began. The careers of governors and mayors, business leaders and thinkers, doctors and researchers, artists and teachers, champions and victors. This is who shaped their futures, no matter where they were. This is where it started. This is where success ignited. This is where they were A-State made.
And you're talking about battling for playoff spots. 5 teams get in. You're tied for 4th place right now in the standings. Hard to figure that there's been a much bigger play than that scoop and score by Justin McFall this season as he ties the game up off of what was a disappointing offensive set for Westside. And he picks the whole team up with a heads-up play, and we're tied up at 7, Marcus.
Yeah, that was exactly what the doctor ordered for Westside after coming up empty on that offensive possession.
Bouncing ball picked up at the 15, and we got a seam up the left side. Still on his feet. We're crossing the field, and Baker is down at the 35.
Well, and you had a block in the back is the reason that seam opened up as much as it did. One of the Westside players just went flying, and, I mean, it's not like the line reached up and grabbed him. And we've got a player down over here. I can't see who it is.
Well, maybe Baker.
The trainers from Westside.
Baker's up standing on the sideline, so it may be a Warriors player.
No, it's not a Warriors player. It's because Beatty waved off the trainers.
So I think it's Baker. I do believe Baker's down on the sideline. 4:41 left to play in this game, and he is up.
A couple tough shots that he's taken.
Yeah, it's true.
Coach Beatty wasn't too concerned because he waved the trainers off.
He's like, no, y'all go back over. We got an offense to run. But
again, you got to start your offense here without him because, his helmet was off once again. So he's got to come out for at least a play here.
Reagan Womack will be the quarterback for this, at least the first play for Pocahontas.
How about the Westside defense tonight, man? They allowed that one touchdown, and they've really clamped down ever since. And there's a good stop right there. You got a bad snap, and that hesitation gave Westside just enough time to kind of recover and get the stop. The defense has come to play tonight, man. They've definitely got it going so far.
I have been impressed with the defense what is going on, 2.5 games.
Yeah.
Rivercrest game, I thought, besides the first quarter.
Yeah.
Excellent series, and then certainly against Cave City. Baker does make something out of nothing coming back in after having to sit out one due to injury. It's going to bring up, though, 3rd down for Pocahontas. 3rd down and about 9.
And with just 3:57 left before half here, how big would it be for Westside to get yet another stop right here and get the ball back with an opportunity to score with, probably about 2.5 minutes left here?
Snap is bobbled, but still finds a way to get the handoff down. The ball is on the ground. Westside indicates that they have it, but it's going to stay with Pocahontas. In the meantime, Maupin's helmet comes off, so he's going to have to sit out of play.
It's kind of hard to tell in the middle of the scrum. I couldn't tell if he was down when the ball came out or not. I saw the ball come out, and I focused on that rather than trying to see if he was down or not. So not much argument being put up from the Westside players, so that tells me that he was probably down.
4th down and 6 from the 31 as the Warriors have forced yet another 4th down. We can see if they can come up with a big stop here with 3 minutes left in the half. The Redskins will receive after halftime. Baker rolls out left side looking to pass, goes across center, and it's incomplete. And that is another turnover on downs for the Warriors, D. What a night they're having so far.
This Warriors defense has keyed in tonight, and they are putting the clamps down. That's is that 2 4th downs now where they've stopped Pocahontas?
That's 2 turnover on downs forced by the Warriors defense, only 1 touchdown allowed.
And you've got 2:52 and 1 timeout to work with here. So you've got time to go down and maybe get into field goal range and give Alls another shot.
So it's going to be first down from their own 31, 2:52 left to play in the half. All tied up. Handoff goes to Fowler. Fowler out right-hand side, bounces off a tackle, tries to set the corner, gets around the corner, headed towards the first down marker. Looks like he stopped just short, but it's going to be second and short at least, maybe a first down. Yeah, second and short coming for the Warriors.
Looks like it's going to be about a 2nd and 2 there. Great run and taking his time, not trying to force anything. He stayed behind his blockers, made a couple of good moves, and he picks up about, well, they're giving him 9 on this on that first down carry. 2:25 left now. Clock's not really a factor yet.
Second short for the Warriors. Big play. Fullback rumbles ahead, picks up the first down. Clock will stop at what should be 2:09.
Yeah. And it'll start. As soon as the chains are set, the clock will start back.
Big time set here for Westside, trying to pick up every bit of the momentum at this point. That started with the Justin McFall scoop and score. $150 left in the half. Again, 1 timeout for Westside. Hedger got a little room to run, bounces out the right side, tackled from behind, brings up second and short now again for the Warriors.
Another nice run there. About to be inside of 90 seconds until half here. Well, you want to get down in, at least get down into field goal range and give Alls a shot here. You got that 1 timeout in your pocket. You got to hang on to it right now. You're just now at midfield. I would say you probably need to be about the 25 before you would want to line him up.
Yard on the bootleg, tackled in the backfield for a loss. Brings up third down with about a minute. Going to be where we're at this point.
Yeah, so that changes things a bit here because now you may just leave that timeout in your pocket, and because you're down 55 seconds left, I think maybe you try to run one more play and you go to the half tied.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything goofy here.
Yeah.
I don't know that you see a pass because the last thing you want is a pick six and lose every bit of that momentum going into the break.
Yeah, because
you've got the momentum.
I agree. You've got all the momentum right now.
Safe play to Fowler, who is a ball protector. It is a tackle for a loss.
And I don't think Coach Beatty doesn't look like he's going to force the timeout here. They may be content to let this run out.
I like the call to Fowler again. He's a guy that protects the football.
Yeah.
He's a guy that
17 seconds
probably
left.
Not going to turn it over. You don't want to lose any momentum at this point.
No, you've got all the momentum going into the half. I think this Pocahontas crowd is a little bit in shock because I don't think this is where they expected this game to be at halftime. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's going to take us to the half. Very impressive first half for the Westside defense here. I have to admit, I am very impressed with the way that they contained this Pocahontas offense here in the first half.
If you're Bobby Engel, you got to love everything about what you just saw about that effort against what is a very tough Pocahontas team.
Absolutely.
Obviously, some adjustments will be made by Charles Beatty's crew in the locker room at halftime, but the momentum heads into the locker room with Westside. We are all tied up at 7. You are watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration. We'll be right back after a break.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
We live in unprecedented times. Long hours, health checks to start the day. But First National Bank has been around since 1889, and we've seen unprecedented before. Even though our smiles may be masked, our dedication to service will be what's unprecedented. We'll be right here, where we've always been, doing what we do best, putting you first, always.
Fox's Pizza Den in Bono is now under new ownership. New owner Gene Roberts and the team at Fox's strive to bring you excellent customer service and the absolute best pizza. Fox's Pizza uses only the finest ingredients and freshest vegetables, sliced and prepared daily to ensure the best quality for your order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, let Fox's fill your craving. Locally owned and operated, Fox's Pizza in Bono.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
This is where it all began. The careers of governors and mayors, business leaders and thinkers, doctors and researchers, artists and teachers, champions and victors. This is who shaped their futures, no matter where they were. This is where it started. This is where success ignited. This is where they were A-State made.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have two cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
We live in unprecedented times. Long hours, health checks to start the day. But First National Bank has been around since 1889, and we've seen unprecedented before. Even though our smiles may be masked, our dedication to service will be what's unprecedented. We'll be right here, where we've always been, doing what we do best, putting you first, always.
Fox's Pizza Den in Bono is now under new ownership. New owner Gene Roberts and the team at Fox's strive to bring you excellent customer service and the absolute best pizza. Fox's Pizza uses only the finest ingredients and freshest vegetables, sliced and prepared daily to ensure the best quality for your order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, let Fox's fill your craving. Locally owned and operated, Fox's Pizza in Bono.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
This is where it all began. The careers of governors and mayors, business leaders and thinkers, doctors and researchers, artists and teachers, champions and victors. This is who shaped their futures, no matter where they were. This is where it started. This is where success ignited. This is where they were A-State made.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
My name is Nessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
Ladies and gentlemen, regionals, our band receives straight superior ratings, which qualifies us for state on November 1st at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. Let's hear it for your 2021 Marching Redskins under the direction of Miss Whitney Phillips, Amanda Sutton, and Stan Hall. Let's hear it one more time for your Marching Redskins.
And welcome back to Pocahontas High School as the Westside Warriors and the Pocahontas Redskins are tied at the break after what was a great defensive half of football for the Westside Warriors. Take a look at some stats before we get you going. We probably got a little over 5 minutes left before the start of the second half. In terms of first downs, Westside wins that battle 4-3. On the ground, Westside outrushes Pocahontas 97-68. Pocahontas outpasses Westside 25-0. Total yardage 97 for Westside, 93 for Pocahontas. Westside on defense also shutting down 2 fourth-down conversion attempts, stopping them both times. Also forcing 1 turnover, which is the one score of the game for Westside on the scoop and score by Justin McFall. The 1 touchdown for Pocahontas coming from Connor Baker on the pass to Harrison Carter, 15 yards for 7. And that is where we are right now, all tied up at 7 at the break.
Yeah, very impressive first half for Westside on the defensive side of the ball. And, you know, you had some opportunities there with the offensive side, and you just couldn't I hate to say it, but you couldn't get out of your own way there on that drive where you got down to the half-yard line and just couldn't punch it in. You had a couple penalties back you up, but then, you know, your defense comes out, gets the scoop and score to bring you even, and I think Pocahontas is a little shell-shocked at this point because I don't think they expected to be in this position at halftime.
And it seems like each game, Westside has improved on defense. And when I mentioned the last couple of games at Rivercrest, -1 quarter, great defensive effort against a great offense there. A lot of talent on that team. And then last week at Cave City pretty well not able to do much of anything against this defense, and they got the win there.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that tonight. Westside's defense, simply the reason they're in this game at this point.
Absolutely. And as you pointed out, you know, you've seen it since about I would say since about halftime of the Rivercrest game. You've seen the defense kind of clamp down. You know, they had the shutout against Blytheville, and then, you know, you had the good performance against Cave City, and then you've had I feel like it's a great performance tonight. You had the one breakdown where Pocahontas scored on the pass play. But after that, man, they've really cinched down, and you know, they've got your only offense of the night is coming on the scoop and score. So be interesting to see what happens here in the second half, because if you're Westside, all the pressure's on Pocahontas. Pocahontas is the team that's in second place in this conference right now behind Rivercrest. They seem to be, from my perspective, I think they're a little shell-shocked. They did not expect to be in this situation. So now the question becomes, do they come out in the second half and try to press and try to force things a little bit? A lot of times when you try to force things that aren't there, you work yourself into other mistakes. And the question will be is, can Westside capitalize if Pocahontas presses things and makes some mistakes here in the second half?
Always talk about it when you're a team, and I believe, I mean, I don't think people would disagree with this, that Westside, this would be kind of an upset victory if they can pull this out. And when you're trying to upset a team that, I mean, coming into this game, Pocahontas 5-2, 3-1, quality wins for them. And then, of course, Westside struggling a little bit early, started coming to their own, but 2-4 and 2-2. But when you're trying to do that, when you're trying to come into a tough environment here at Pocahontas, tough road trip against a tough team with a high-powered offense, you want to ambush them a little bit, and you want to get them back on their toes.
Yes.
And like you said, they come out maybe trying to press a little bit, trying to do a little bit too much, because now you found yourself tied at halftime. Every bit of the momentum went into the locker room with Westside at the break.
Absolutely.
And that's where Pocahontas finds themselves coming out. They will have the football to start the second half.
They will, and that, you know, that sets up, I think that sets up to tell us who's going to take control of this game in the second half. Is it going to be the high-octane, quick-striking offense of Pocahontas, or is the defense for Westside going to continue to shut them down and keep the clamps on Connor Baker? You know, we've seen one really big run from him tonight that got called back because of a hold. For the most part, they have done very well of keeping him in check.
Pocahontas offense is not one-dimensional. It's not what I'm saying here. Don't misinterpret what I'm trying to say. But Connor Baker, this offense goes as he goes.
Absolutely.
And Westside has contained him tonight on the run, which has helped stop a kind of a more open passing attack.
Yeah, outside of, you know, he's had a couple runs for 5+. You know, I think he's run for a couple of first downs. But the big run of the night that he had, other than the kick return, was called back because of a hold. So if you keep him in front of you and keep him to 5-6 yards on a gain, that's playing right into Westside's hands. And the longer that this game stays tied, or maybe it gets a one-score game, I think the pressure stays on Pocahontas because everybody expected Pocahontas to run away with this game tonight.
I think so.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's not a slam on Westside, but that's just, you know, you look at the way Westside's offense goes versus the way Pocahontas' offense goes, and you would expect things to be different than they are right now. I love the way this defense is playing for Westside right now. It's, and we'll see a lot about how the rest of the game is going to go with this first possession. If Westside comes out and is able to get a 3-and-out or just hold Pocahontas from scoring, I think it plays right into the Warriors' hands, because at that point, as long as they can get 3-4 yards of carry, they can milk this clock and shorten this game and maybe bring it down to a point where it comes down to a field goal difference.
When you talk about holding an offense like the Redskins to 93 yards, I mean, Connor Baker had 1,400 yards last season.
Right.
You've held the entire offense under 100 yards for the half. That just indicates how well you're playing as a defense. And we mentioned these are guys, and this is a key to the second half too, but these are guys that are also playing both ways.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
Pocahontas didn't have a lot of that. They got more
Right.
numbers than you do.
Yes.
You got guys playing both ways that have just shut down a high-powered offense and limited them to under 100 yards.
Yeah, and I don't know the stats on Pocahontas for the year, but I would think that would have to be one of their least yardage amounts in a half so far this season. I mean, just judging off of the final scores that I've seen of them so far.
Let's talk about Pocahontas for a minute, because you have a situation where you have a well-coached team, and there is still that high-powered offense out there that's going to get the ball back, and there's going to be adjustments made.
Absolutely.
For Pocahontas and Charles Beatty's crew after the half.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see, I think you'll see Westside try to make some adjustments on offense to get things going, because they had spurts where the offense was moving really well, but then you also had some self-inflicted wounds that kept them out of the end zone. So I think you'll see some adjustments made with both coaches. Both these teams are very well coached. It'll be interesting to see the chess match here to start the third. I think this opening drive of the third quarter is going to be key for who takes control of this game.
Short first half as well, under an hour long. Let's take a look at the standings for the 3-4A conference. Rivercrest is atop undefeated at 4-0 in conference play. Truman and Pocahontas are square at 3-1 apiece, tied for second. Tied at fourth is Westside and Blyville at 2-2. Cave City is at 1-3. Gosnell is at 1-3, tied for sixth. And then in the cellar is Highland at 0-4. So right now, you got a battle between what would be two playoff teams if the season ended today.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's, it's going to be interesting to see how these last couple of weeks after tonight shakes out, because if you're Westside, you're tied for that fourth position right now. Now you do have the tiebreaker over Blyville from head to head, but you still got to take care of business. And if you come out of tonight, if you pull a win out tonight, you're having the possibility of maybe moving up to third, depending on what else happens in the conference tonight. And I looked at halftime, and none of the 4A schools have updated scores, but I do have some other scores from around the area that are going to be of interest to our viewers tonight. Jonesboro leads Searcy just right before half, 14-0. Batesville leads Brooklyn at halftime by that same score, 14-0. A bit of a theme here, because we've got yet another 14-0 game at half. Nettleton leading Forest City 14-0 at half. Valley View up on Greene County Tech 7-0. That one's also at the half. Hoxie having no trouble with Manila tonight. You'll have a running clock in the third quarter to start that one. 35-0 Hoxie over Manila. And Corning leading Palestine Wheatley 13-7 at half. I'm going to keep working on some scores in this 4A3 conference to see what I can come up with that would have playoff implications on it. But we're ready to start the third quarter here, and it'll be interesting to see, how this high-octane Pocahontas offense responds here.
Again, we've been here just a little over an hour, and we're starting the second half. It was a quick first half. A little pooch kick from Hayden Alls goes out of bounds, and we're going to have a flag on the play for illegal procedure, and that's the way that the second half will start.
Yeah, I don't mind the short kick there. You hope you get the bounce, and it bounces back to the inside rather than to the outside. But, football takes funny bounce at times, and it just didn't take a good bounce for Westside there. But let's see what this defense does to open it up here.
Drive will start at the Redskins 35. Again, all square at 7. We're starting the third quarter as Connor Baker leads the offense out onto the field. Going to be a keeper for Baker. Stopped immediately in the backfield as J.T. McGuire gets back there and makes the tackle for a loss.
Yeah, no surprise there. They're going to try to get their playmaker going, but Westside keyed in on him and stopped him for a minimal gain. Maybe one. It looks more like actually a loss of one on the play.
Only 2 passes downfield, really, for Pocahontas in the first half. You think you see them maybe go a little more vertical as the time progresses?
I think at some point you have to if your offense stalls out and you can't get much going on the ground.
Baker runs over a Westside defender, runs over Darvin Fowler, which is pretty impressive when you think about that. It's 3rd down and 9 now for the Redskins.
I'm going to give Darvin the benefit of the doubt there and say that he was not on his full balance, or I don't think anybody's running him over.
I think he was not looking either.
Yeah.
He got
This is a big 3rd down here, Blake. This is 3rd and 8, a minute into the 3rd quarter here.
Yeah, if you can get a tackle near the line of scrimmage, might force a punt. Baker throws it ahead. It is caught and past the first down marker. Caught by Braden Tarantino for the first down, and a big 3rd down conversion for the Redskins.
That is a big conversion, and I don't think Westside was expecting the pass there because there was nobody within about 7 yards of Tarantino there, and he made sure he caught it before he decided to move and picked up the first down.
First down from the 46 for the Redskins. 10:40 left to play in the 3rd. Motion comes to the right. It's a keeper for Baker.
Got a flag.
And there's going to should be a hold.
Probably a hold where that was thrown. I'll admit I got faked out on that one. I was watching the back coming across in motion. I thought he had the ball, but
looked like Evan Blackwell had a Westside defender pinned to the ground.
Personal foul. Chop block?
Yep, chop block.
Wow.
So that's a 15-yarder.
That's big.
Big-time play. And again, what was the death knell for Pocahontas' offense was penalties. And we have started now in the 3rd. They're first down and looks like about 25.
Yeah, I mean, they basically negate that big first down they picked up. Now they're back way behind the chains here.
1st and 25 from the 34. Pressure comes. Baker dodges it, throws over the top, and the pass is incomplete. Well defended in the secondary for the Warriors. Good pressure coming from Westside, and it brings up 2nd down and 25.
Yeah, good pressure there. They were just a half a second off from getting a big quarterback sack there, but the pass falls incomplete. Overthrew his receiver, overthrew everybody, actually. There wasn't even a defensive back that could get to that one.
I think there's any question, Charles Beatty discussed penalties in the locker room at halftime, and just like that, it has an impact on the second half.
Yeah, you're 2nd and 23 now.
2nd down and 23 from the 33. Fakes the handoff, pass over the middle, and it is complete to Harrison Carter, who had the touchdown reception in the first half. Brings them back near the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Another big 3rd down here for this Westside defense. If they can get off the field here, no damage done here other than pulling some time off the clock.
10 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Baker rolls out right. He's in trouble. Pressure coming from Spencer Long, and Long gets the sack for the Warriors. Forces 4th and long for Pocahontas.
That is a huge, huge sack there. Spencer Long pursuing him from the backside, and Baker was looking downfield and just couldn't get away from him. That's a huge turn of events there. How big is that penalty on the Pocahontas offense there? It puts them behind the chains and puts them in an uncomfortable situation where they have to put the ball in the air.
Changes the entire complexion of that drive. Snap is away, punt is away. It's a good punt. End over end, bounces at the 25, and it's bobbled on the ground, but it is fallen on by the Warriors, and a sigh of relief from Warriors Nation as Montana Neely bobbles it but then falls right back on it.
It's okay to exhale, everyone. Montana Neely falls on the ball there, and Westside will retain possession. And now this is a situation that the Westside offense wants to be in. They want to have the ball to where they can shorten this game. 9:20 left here in the 3rd quarter. As long as they can pick up 3 to 4 yards per play, they'll keep moving the chains. And, if they can hang on to it long enough, they're content to run this 3rd quarter out.
Oh, absolutely. And if bread and butter Westside can do that.
Absolutely.
Drive starts with 9 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the third quarter. First down from the 23 for the Warriors. Motion right from Darvin Fowler. 2 backs in the backfield. Ivy and Hedger goes to Ivy up the middle. Nothing doing really on that carry, and it's second down.
Yeah, not much there. That Pocahontas defensive line has a size advantage over the Westside offensive line, and that play went nowhere quick.
We didn't really talk a ton about Pocahontas' defensive performance. Might have slighted them a little bit because they had a great defensive performance shutting down a tough running game, which is back at full steam almost minus Connor Crane for the Warriors.
Yeah. Hedger doesn't look to be slowed, hardly any at all tonight.
Speaks to his toughness because there's got to be some pain left over.
It's a pain tolerance thing for sure.
Rumble up ahead from looks like Hedger himself. It's going to be third down now for the Warriors. Because here's the thing, you don't go to the orthopedist on a Monday and then come out and play the next week without some pain.
Well, and he left the game Friday night and went and got x-rays.
Yeah.
So, that doesn't happen if there's not some significant pain involved there. Even if you're doing it as a precautionary, he's a tough kid.
Big third down coming up. Third down and 7 for the Warriors from the 25. Shift on the front for Pocahontas. Yerda rolls out looking to pass. Pass goes over the top, and it's intercepted. Wow. No, it's incomplete. He dropped it. Actually,
they're calling it incomplete.
Yeah, it should be an incomplete pass. The sideline official kind of let him play a little bit. Looked like Connor Baker coming in there. I thought he had the interception, and then he ends up dropping it and can't go to the ground for it. Great defensive play, though, by Connor Baker.
Very athletic play to get his hands on the ball and just couldn't secure it there. That was a close one because if he secures that with his speed, you never know what's going to happen there.
It's going to force a Westside punt, so a good defensive series by Pocahontas. 8:20 left to play in the third. The kick by Yerda is away, end over end. To receive is Harrison Carter, but he just shies away from it, and it rolls down to the 31-yard line as Justin McFall gives it a little help with a breath of fresh air.
I'm going to date myself with this reference, but that's like George Brett blowing on the baseball to try to make it go foul,
Absolutely. Yeah, work a little bit better with a baseball.
I think so.
Than the football, but I applaud the effort there. As Justin's had a good night. He was thinking, man, I can have an impact on this. So the drive for Pocahontas will start on their own 31 after the Westside punt. So it continues to be a defensive game.
Did we have a flag there? Yeah, they're walking something on. I missed what the penalty was, but there was obviously something on Westside because they're marking off 15. It must have been a personal foul because they marked off 15 yards. So instead of starting at the 31, you're going to start at the 46 now.
Oh, that's not exactly what you wanted there.
No, and I think that's the first personal foul penalty tonight. Westside had a bit of an issue with that earlier in the year. They've really clamped down on that and made it a little better tonight.
Yeah, not a bad penalty night at all for the Warriors.
No, pretty clean.
First run gets a few. Somewhat productive second down now for Pocahontas. 8 minutes left here in the third. Good crowd here, Pocahontas, as to be expected.
Of course, that's just tradition here, man. They love their football.
Good crowd from Westside on hand, though.
Yeah, we had it's not a hard trip. I mean, it's a 45-minute drive. And
Baker to pass. It is complete to Womack, but he's hit immediately. And it's going to bring up third down and about 4 for the Pocahontas Redskins.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is you want to let Baker get some success through the air. He's been pretty one-dimensional tonight. He's completed a couple passes here. You don't want to let him get in a rhythm with his passing game.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 4. He's going to keep it, runs up the middle, got the first down plus, finally taken down about 5 yards past the first down marker. Good carry there by Baker, and it's going to be a new set of downs coming for Pocahontas.
And when he has success passing the ball, that's what happens. It opens up. You have to respect him as a passer, and then he's able to get 5, 6, 7 yards on a carry.
First down from the 46. We're now in Westside territory, 6:50 left to play in the third. Trips out left. Motion comes right. Baker to pass over the top. Finds his man. Got some room to run. Going to have the first down plus. Now headed up the sideline. Finally pulled out of bounds by Eli Willie. And that's a great pitch and catch there for the Redskins.
That's a big play there. I believe that's Reed Bigger with the catch, and he rumbled down the sideline for a huge gain. That's one of the biggest plays of the night that this Westside defense has allowed.
It's going to be a keeper for Baker. Baker's got nice some room to run, cross the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pocahontas.
He made a nice cutback there and lowered his head and ran over the secondary there to give Pocahontas the lead.
15-yard touchdown run for Connor Baker, and it puts Pocahontas on top by a touchdown.
Well, and the difference on that drive from the rest of the night for Pocahontas is they had some success through the air, and then that made the Westside defense adjust, and when they adjusted, Baker took advantage of it.
Open the playbook up just a little bit. That was the offense we expected to see here tonight. Now the extra point is missed, so make a note of that. It's going to be 13-7 about midway through the third quarter. So Pocahontas regains the lead on the legs of Connor Baker. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
Welcome back to Pocahontas High School. 6:31 left to play in the third quarter as the Redskins have just taken a 13-7 lead on the touchdown by Connor Baker. 15-yard keeper for the junior quarterback. And that's kind of the Pocahontas offense we talked about coming into this game.
Yeah, what Pocahontas was able to do on that drive is more in line with what we've seen from them the whole year. Is just, little dink and dump passing game, just enough to keep you honest on defense, and then if you give Connor Baker a couple inches of space, he'll turn it into a 5-6 yard gain.
Redskins look like they're setting up for a short kick, but go ahead and kick it deep. It's picked up by Cameron Hedger. Gets up the middle. It's a great return to around the 40-yard line. Just what you wanted if you're Westside's offense coming on after the score.
Yeah, that's a good response to set your offense up close to midfield with a good return there. You've got to go answer now.
6:24 left in this game, and simply put, the offense, they got to score.
Yeah,
at this point,
yeah.
The defense has got you one, but you got to take it the rest of the way.
Yeah, you've got to get one. Your defense has kept you within reach of this. Pocahontas gives you a gift by missing the extra point there.
Going to have to take it 61 yards. 1st and 10 from the 39. Fowler's hit immediately in the backfield, and it has been a good night for that Redskins front.
Yeah, that defensive front and I think the size differential may be starting to come into play a little bit. They've been leaning on the Westside offense most of the night, and when there's a big size differential like what there is, that takes its toll after a while.
Didn't really lose much. It's still 2nd down and 10 from the 39. Again, if Westside's win this game, you're going to have to get something going offensively. Pitch to Fowler. Fowler bobbles it. It's on the ground. Picked up by Pocahontas. Reagan Womack falls on the fumble. And here come the Redskins with 5:42 left to play in the third.
See, you're in the danger zone now because did they wave it off?
Charles Beatty's going ballistic.
The white hat waved that off. Yeah, he's saying 2nd down.
So they may have called it a forward pass. That's the only thing I can
think of,
Marcus. But I'm going to tell you, Charles Beatty's going ballistic here.
Timeout, Pocahontas. Let's stay here for this one because I want to see what happens here.
Yeah, so essentially what appeared to be a pitch to Darvin Fowler was bobbled. It was picked up very clearly by Reagan Womack, but the only thing that could have been called there was a forward pass incomplete.
And it's almost like that little touch pass, you see like on a jet sweep type of deal, but that wasn't a jet sweep type of play.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, we're on the Westside broadcast here, and I would not be happy if I'm Charles Beatty right here. I'm not. And again, sometimes this happens. We get an explanation later of something that it all makes sense, but it looked like a pitch backwards to me, Marcus, and at that point would have been a fumble by Darvin Fowler. But hey, at this point, there's no replay.
Right.
So it's going to be Westside football, 3rd and 10. That's gigantic, even if you don't convert here.
Yeah, you've been given an opportunity here. You've dodged another bullet here. If Westside can come up and convert on this 3rd and 10 to keep the ball and keep moving down the field, Pocahontas is a little frustrated after that. Everybody is, upset over that call. You've got to take advantage here.
Charles Beatty's as mad as I've ever seen him, I think. I mean, he was standing out almost at the hash marks, motioning that it was a pitch backwards. So that must have been our call there. Speaking of pitches, this one goes to Hedger, and he's got the first down.
I believe he's got it. Yeah.
I think he's got the first down, and to take advantage of a break that went your way, should be first down Warriors.
Yeah, first down, there's the indication. Wow, that's huge, Blake. That is a huge play.
And you feel like Westside's got to capitalize on it, Marcus.
You've got to capitalize on this. You were I'll just call it what it is. You were handed a gift there, and you convert on the 3rd down. Now, in addition to being frustrated, this defense may be on its heels a little bit.
1st and 10 from the 50. It's keeper by Yerda. Gets a gain, good gain ahead of the chains now at this point, so it's going to be 2nd down and about 6 or 7 for the Warriors.
Yeah, he's had some success on that bootleg. They've not run it too often tonight. They have I believe that's the 2nd time they've run it. The first one was a huge gainer. Clock continues to roll. 4:43 left here in the 3rd.
Power I coming again for the Warriors. Hedger in the backfield. Fowler in the up back spot. Goes to the fullback. That's Michael Ivey. He's got the first down. Plus some. Breaks away from a tackle. And how about Michael Ivey coming out of the fullback spot. Picks up a huge gain. And another set of downs coming for the Warriors.
2 words on that. Leg drive. He just kept his legs moving and busting through tackles. Looking a little bit like Larry Zonka. That's my second reference. It's going to date myself a little bit. I had one for the over 30 crowd. There's one for the over 50 crowd.
Who is Larry Zonka? I don't normally I act like I know, but I don't even know there. That one's not one I know.
I'll Google it for you in the next break.
Just let me know. We'll have to do this on the air right now. We can do it later. 4 minutes left. New set of downs for the Warriors from the 29. There's a flag delay of game.
Golly,
well, that can't happen.
Got to keep an eye on that. Can't let that happen.
And we've mentioned Pocahontas' offense with the penalties, and that's the first really, there's been a couple, but first real hurtful one. You're moving so well, and you back up 5 yards. So it's 1st and 15 from the 34 now for Westside. 4 minutes left in the 3rd. Well, you are dating yourself with the Larry Zonka thing.
He predates me, but,
Yeah. 1st and 15 from the 34, 3:45 left to play. Hedger gets it, moves on ahead, back to the original line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10, so an effective run by Cameron Hedger.
It's a good pickup. We're down to about 3.5 minutes left here in this 3rd quarter, and this is, you're down 13-7, but you're moving the ball 4, 5, 6 yards a carry. This is what Westside does with their offense.
Still in a pretty good spot in this game. A lot of football left to be played. Dominating time of possession. You do have the 1-point advantage if you can make the extra point. So good spot still for Westside. Blitz comes, handed off to Hedger, does find a hole, gets a good block up front.
We got a flag.
And we do have a flag in the backfield. Coming out a little late from a distance by the head official.
Hedger's slow to get up. Gets up on under his own power, though, and he's going to go to the sideline for a play or two.
Holding on the Westside offense. Mueller checks in. That's backing up 10 yards. Now we're in a tough spot for the Warriors.
Yeah, that's a tough one there.
2nd down and 20 coming up.
And that flag came out late, too, so you almost wonder if that was, if the holding occurred after the play had already advanced.
Been a few of those tonight where might not have been entirely necessary.
Yeah.
Sometimes, a hold, you're trying to get position and keep the play alive. It wouldn't have happened even if you didn't hold.
Right.
That one may not have been one
Those
of
are the
them
ones that are tough. They're all tough, but those are the ones that are just really a gut punch.
Mueller goes in motion. Yerta goes to pass. Over the top. He's got Mueller open, and Mueller can't bring it in as he had to stop and wait on it. The defenders caught back up, and the pass is incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 22 for the Warriors.
Yeah, pass was just a little underthrown. He had to, little too much air under it. Had to wait on it a little bit. I love the play call because you've not gone to that all night. It was there. Little less air on your pass, and that's probably 6.
Kind of a wheel route there. Mueller went into motion, went over the top, and again, if Yerta leads him, that one's in for 6.
Yeah.
Still a catchable ball.
Oh, most definitely.
3rd down and forever for Westside. And a timeout's going to be taken by Bobby Engel. He is not the slightest bit happy with his team at this point as he's forced to take a timeout again for the play clock. So first timeout of the half taken for the Warriors. We'll take it with them. They're down 13-7 with 2:38 left to play.
Fox's Pizza Den in Bono is now under new ownership. New owner Gene Roberts and the team at Fox's strive to bring you excellent customer service and the absolute best pizza. Fox's Pizza uses only the finest ingredients and freshest vegetables, sliced and prepared daily to ensure the best quality for your order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery, let Fox's fill your craving. Locally owned and operated. Fox's Pizza in Bono.
It's 13-7 as Westside trails Pocahontas in this game. 2:38 left to play in the 3rd quarter. It is 3rd down and 22 for the Warriors. Hedger back in the backfield for Pocahontas. Fowler is kind of in a slot position out to the right, so different looks.
Yeah, you got to put it in the air here, don't you, Blake?
I think you have to.
Well, maybe not.
Pitch out right to Hedger. Hedger's in trouble in the backfield. He is still on his feet somehow, trying to reverse course. Got a little room to run.
Great block.
He's got room to run. 30
should be a face
across
mask
the 30,
there.
and he is out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage, but it's 4th down and 10 and 4th down where you can think about it.
Wow.
What a run by Cameron Hedger.
To reverse field like that and make the gain that he made. I mean, yeah, you're still looking at 4th and 10, but he picked up 12 yards. He run about 35 to get 12, but the fact that he was able to stay alive on the far side of the field and turn it back for positive yardage is nothing short of a miracle, really.
Jack Privet had him by the legs, and
Privet
somehow
had him,
Hedger just broke out of it and kept going.
And Privet's made several tackles tonight behind the line of scrimmage, so to get away from him was a big thing.
And that's with a sore foot and ankle that he had a hold of. 2:15 left to play in the 3rd. Yerta to pass, hit as he throws. It's a fumble on the ground, picked up by the Warriors. They try to pick up and gain some yards back. It's going to be a turnover on downs as J.T. McGuire comes in and picks up the fumble.
The Ethan Morris on the hit.
Yeah, big hit by Ethan Morris to force the fumble as Yerta reared back to pass.
Yeah, he came in on Yerta's blind side, and Yerta had no clue that he had broken through the protection, and that's just a great defensive play there, and heads up by the offensive lineman to go pick up the ball and try to make what he could out of it. J.T. McGuire saved the fumble. I mean, it's 4th down, and you've got a mile to go there, but that's just a bad one.
Just goes down in the scorebook as a turnover on downs.
Yeah.
After all that.
A lot of action just to go down as a straight up, fail to convert on 4th down.
Baker gets 3 with his legs, 2nd down and 7. Now for Pocahontas, minute 45 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Now Westside defense needs to stop.
Yeah, you've got to have a stop here. Another score probably puts this one out of reach.
Baker trying to do it with his legs out to the right side. Picks up the 1st down, it does appear.
Westside is fortunate there to not get a late hit on Michael Ivey.
Minute and a half left to play in the 3rd quarter. From the 46-yard line of Pocahontas. A little bit of a hurry-up look here for the Redskins. Twins right. Handoff goes to Maupin. Maupin gets a little room to run and rushes ahead for about a 6-yard gain. 2nd down and 4 now for Pocahontas. Minute 15 left to play here in the 3rd. Second and 4 from the 48. Low snap picked up by Baker. Baker hits Carter. Carter gets close to that 1st down marker, and it looks like he's got it.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
New set of downs now for Pocahontas with 54 seconds left to play in the 3rd.
You don't want to give up a score right here at the end of the 3rd quarter. The Pocahontas offense that was out of rhythm for the majority of the first half. They seem to have found a bit of that rhythm they were missing early on.
Handoff up the middle for the Redskins. Good stop there for the Warriors. He does pick up about 3. 2nd and 7 now for Pocahontas. Under 40 seconds now left to play in the 3rd. Trips out left for the Redskins. 20 seconds now left to play in the 3rd. Baker keeps it. Jukes and jives up the middle. Got a little room to run, and it takes several Westside defenders to bring him down. Finally at the 20. Huge run by Connor Baker.
That is a big-time run right there, carrying defenders with him. It's a 1st down. You got 13 seconds left here. Again, you don't want to give up a score right here if Pocahontas decides to run another play.
5 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Looks like they're going to try to get another play off. Westside jumps off sides. Waiting on the call from the official.
I think fatigue may be starting to become a factor for the Westside defense, because you saw on that last run there by Baker that it took 4 guys to finally bring him down, and that's not been the case all night.
That will also end the 3rd quarter. So at the end of 3, Westside trails Pocahontas 13-7. We'll be back with the 4th quarter of action in just a moment.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
Just 12 more minutes of football left to play here in Randolph County as Pocahontas hosts Westside, currently up 13-7, but they are inside of the red zone on the Warrior 19 after an offsides penalty ending the 3rd quarter.
I think you were starting to see that Westside defense tire a little bit. We mentioned early on in this game the difference in the numbers on the roster between Pocahontas, personnel number between Pocahontas and Westside. And, you know, it's a cool night here. It's not like it's really hot, but, you know, the defense has been on the field quite a bit tonight on both sides. And I think your depth is just starting to show a little bit.
And you have those guys going both ways, and
yeah,
you're having long drives on offense. You know, Westside was coming off of a long drive before the turnover on downs, ate a better part of the third quarter up. Now you got to go right back out on defense and compete with a pretty fast-paced Redskins offense, and it is starting to show a little bit here. It's going to be first down and 5 from the 14 for the Redskins.
Well, and that offense was struggling a little bit early on, but now it seems like they've kind of found a bit of a groove here, and they're threatening to score to start this fourth quarter.
Twins left, one right for Pocahontas. Baker keeps it, finds a hole as he reverses course a little bit, and moves it ahead just shy, I think, of the first down marker.
Yeah, we're at an angle here where it's a little deceiving to try to see exactly where that's at, but the referee, the white hat, just indicated first down.
It's now first and goal for the Redskins, and a big moment in this game coming up for Westside if you want to come out of here with a victory.
Yeah, you've got to get a stop here. You can't allow another score and go down potentially 20-7.
Handoff to Maupin up the middle. Rushes ahead, and he's down into a really short yardage situation at about the 3. Second and goal coming up for Pocahontas as they knock on the door.
Well, and I know I sound like a broken record here, but earlier in the game, that is a stop that is made on the first contact, and you're starting to see those Pocahontas backs slide through that just a little bit.
Second and goal from the 3. Maupin rumbles ahead, fighting for the yardage, and it's a touchdown, Pocahontas. Grayson Maupin with the 3-yard rushing touchdown puts the Redskins up by a couple of scores.
It looks like Pocahontas is going to go for 2 here.
Did miss the extra point earlier, trying to make up for that.
Yeah.
Baker out right-hand side, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. It'll be 21-7. Pocahontas after the 2-point conversion is good by Baker. So it's a 2-score lead now for the Redskins with 10:46 left to play in this game. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
Back-to-back scores has changed the complexion of this game as Maupin runs it in for a 3-yard touchdown run on a long drive from the Redskins. With 10:46 left to play in the game, they've taken a 21-7 lead after the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, all the momentum is definitely with Pocahontas now, and if you're Westside, you've got to go out of your comfort zone a little bit and try to score quick to get this back to a 1-score game. But you know, the other side of that scoring quick is that you put your already fatigued defense right back on the field.
Kick is popped up, and there's a flag going to be thrown as the kick goes out of bounds. So it'll be good field position for the Warriors as you start. The question becomes, can you move the ball down the field fast enough and efficiently enough to have a shot to tie this game up?
Yeah, you've definitely got to try to make things happen quickly. And that's not Westside's specialty. That's not what they like to do.
About 65 yards they'll have to go to get this one in the end zone. Seen a couple of pass attempts by Yerta. One was almost intercepted. The other had a pretty decent chance at completion, a little underthrown. May have to see a couple of these looks here. Not quite the desperation mode, but you don't want to eat 8 minutes off the clock here either.
Right.
And we got a penalty flag that stops the play. Dead ball foul. It's going to be a false start on Westside. Make it 1st and 15.
And that's not how you want to start your offense here, coming off of giving up a score. Now you're behind the chains, and the climb gets a little steeper.
You mentioned it's got to be a fatigue thing.
I think so.
It was like that momentum. It was there kind of at the beginning of the second half, but
yeah.
It's gone now. And it was gone after that first score by Pocahontas. And again, a lot of that's fatigue. That's not really necessarily an effort thing.
No, I think you're still getting maximum effort, but when the tank is about on empty, and
you're deep into the season, guys
yeah.
are banged up, and you got guys playing two ways on long drives, and
right. It takes its toll. I mean,
2nd down and 14 from the 32. 10 minutes left in this game. See what Bobby Engel decides to come out with here. Going to be a bootleg for Yurda, and he's brought down from behind, and Pocahontas defense now smelling a little blood in the water.
Yeah, Peyton Leibopper there with chased him down from behind. Wasn't fooled at all on that play, just a good defensive play. And now we've got a frustration penalty with Westside. It's probably going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Is it an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty? That'll be 15 yards marched off against the Warriors offense.
That's frustration, Blake.
Yeah,
that's frustration. No excuse for it, but I can understand how it happens. I'm not condoning it, but I am saying I understand how it happens.
Yeah, you were you were tied at halftime, but you had to feel like you kind of had a victory there at the half, like as far as a moral victory going into halftime, and you come out and this thing's gotten away from you a little bit here, and just nothing's working right now either.
Yeah, it's a frustration penalty.
Now you really got your work cut out for you, though. It's 3rd and 26.
What's in your bag of tricks on 3rd and 26?
Yeah, that's Hedger gets nothing at that point, so it's going to be 4th and 26, maybe 25. Under 9 minutes now left to play in this game.
Yeah, you're going to see a punt. I don't see Hunter Henry on the sidelines for your 4th and 25 play. So
you just don't have much in the bag here, and I'll tell you, you don't really have anything to go for it here. And
right.
If you go for it and don't get it, it's really over.
Yeah.
At that point, maybe you force a turnover on defense or something.
Yeah, ball's on the 20, so
Kick is blocked. The punt is blocked. And it's a live ball.
That's a live ball.
That is absolutely a live ball. I don't know what Westside was thinking, and that is a touchdown for the Redskins. That was a block. The kick was blocked.
Yeah.
It was as if Westside didn't know the kick was blocked. The Redskins pick it up and run it back into the end zone for a touchdown.
I don't know what to say on that, Blake.
Heads-up play by the Redskins.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be confusing when the other team just quits.
Yeah.
And Westside actually did that earlier.
Yeah.
To Pocahontas when Justin McFall got the scoop and score. This time it works in reverse as, they've been getting in the backfield on those punts all night long, and that time they got a piece.
Yeah.
The kick is good as the blocked punt is returned for a touchdown. And the Pocahontas Redskins have taken a 28-7 lead with 8:16 left to play in this game. We'll be right back.
Begins with a click. And just like that, you are immersed in a world of wonder. Education, entertainment, information. Connect with family and friends from around the block or around the world. So when it's time to connect, Ritter Communications will be there to make it happen. With speeds up to 1 gig. Ritter Communications, connecting you to what's important.
Pocahontas picks up the blocked punt and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. It's 28-7 is our score now with 8:16 left to play in this game, and what was just a promising first half of football has given way to fatigue and frustration for the Warriors.
Yeah, it's just kind of all falling apart here in the last, I would say, 3 minutes worth of game time.
Caleb Mueller grabs the kickoff, gets it just past the 30 before he is taken down. 8 minutes left to play in this game.
Yeah, things really kind of escalated quickly here because into the third quarter, you're still 13-7. And then Pocahontas has put up 3 scores in, 3 minutes and 57 seconds here. There's 8:03 left in the game.
3 unanswered scores for Pocahontas. Started the second half scoring with the Baker 15-yard keeper to make it 13-7. Then Grayson Maupin ran it in from 3 yards out to make it 21-7. And then the blocked punt return by Pocahontas makes it 28-7. Do have an injured player down on the field. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
Caleb Mueller, the injured Warrior, down on the field, and that's a big loss for this Westside team. Hopefully nothing serious there for him as he's helped off the field by the training staff. 8:03 left to play in this football game as the Redskins have separated with 3 consecutive touchdowns to make it 28-7 as Westside has a little fatigue set in. Big-time block kick there by Pocahontas, return for a score.
Yeah, fatigue and frustration lead to mistakes, and that's what happened there on that blocked punt.
First play from scrimmage on this drive coming for the Warriors. Gain of about 1 for Michael Ivey brings up second down for the Warriors.
Blake, at this point, I don't want to say you surrender, but you want to try to get out of here without getting anybody else banged up. You're fighting the injury bug pretty deep on this Westside team anyway, and you want to get everybody out of here healthy at this point.
I think so, because you're still in playoff contention. You've
Absolutely.
got a pretty good chance here to get into the playoffs. You don't want to burn it at this point. You're not going to go 3 consecutive here. You don't have enough time.
Right.
Yerta runs it out of bounds. Picks up a couple of yards. It's 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, even for, tempo-based, high-octane offense is 7 minutes left and you're down 3 scores. That's a tall mountain to climb.
You're in desperation time.
Yeah.
At this point. Hurry up, no huddle, everything else. And Westside just doesn't have that trick in the bag. Ultimately, if you're just joining us, you really missed a great first half of football and even great start to the second half between these two teams. Great defensive battle, a defensive score by the Warriors. Had it tied up at halftime. This one just gotten away from Westside a little bit here late. Ivy runs ahead. He gets about a yard shy of the first down marker. It's 4th down and 1.
Yeah, fatigue, I know I keep going back to that, but fatigue has played a factor. I mean, if you look at the 2 sidelines, you've got probably twice the amount of players on the Pocahontas sideline as you do on the west side. And it makes a difference. Even, this is a cool night. It's a perfect football night. It's not hot. There's no mosquitoes. It's not humid. But being tired is being tired. Nolan Richardson once said fatigue makes cowards of all of us. And it will take its toll.
4th and 1 as the Warriors go for it and try to draw him off sides. He gets back on sides.
Coach Engel wants timeout.
And he's going to take his second time out of the half. So Warriors take the second time out of the half. 6:29 left to play in this game. Warriors trail 28-7.
Come see what's been lurking for almost a century in this historic theater. You will be in a small group, guided by a friend who will light the way. The stories, the atmosphere, the unknown. Oh, and if you need anything, I'm always around. My name's Charlie. You may have heard of me.
Flag has been thrown on what appears to be the Warriors sideline. Well, this is becoming a little bit of a pattern at the end of Westside losses, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's frustration. Got to find a way to harness that frustration and, you know, put it into the correct mode to get it out of you.
A little tackle and fuel there.
Yeah.
That is an unsportsmanlike on the Warriors. Moves it back 15. None of this at this
we
point.
have an ejection.
So, yeah, somebody's been ejected. See who it is. It's kind of hard to tell with an ejection in football. They're allowed to stay on the bench now. So, not sure who was ejected, but somebody said the magic words.
Well, and so that raises the question of
who's out for the first half.
Who's out for the first half of the Highland game now?
You're right. And that's something you cannot have at this point.
Yeah,
you can't have a player get ejected out for the second at the end of a game that's over to begin with.
Right. You got to just hold your composure a little better than that.
Kick is away. Received by Harrison Carter. Montana Neely swarms in to make the nice tackle. Like seeing the effort out of that guy right there in a game that's gotten away from you as he makes a nice gutsy tackle on the return.
Yeah, nice open field tackle there to basically shut down the return before it got started.
This game just certainly been a tale of two halves. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, actually the fourth quarter through the third quarter, I mean, it was still – you're still 13-7 at the end of the third quarter, but things they escalated really quickly here in the fourth quarter and put things out of reach.
Go back to when the Westside fumble that Pocahontas thought they had.
Yeah.
Kind of got a little bit of a break. Westside did, and you seem like at that point really got a chance to win this game. And then shortly thereafter, you give up a pretty good touchdown drive by the Redskins, and then the Grayson Maupin touchdown on a good drive makes it a two-score game. At that point, things kind of get away.
Yeah, Pocahontas started having a little bit of success with their passing game, and that forced the defense to kind of adjust a little bit to where they couldn't key on Connor Baker in the ground game. And, the defense had to remain honest to either or, and it made the difference.
With a team like Pocahontas, there's going to be a surge coming. And it's whether you can survive it. Warriors didn't. Connor Baker finds some room to run, picks up the first down. It's 5:20 left to play, 5:27 left to play in this game. 28-7 is our score, and a new set of downs coming for Pocahontas.
Yeah, and this offense is going to keep rolling. I mean, they found their groove. They're going to keep rolling. They're not going to go conservative. They're going to do what Pocahontas does, and with the high-octane offense, they're going to kind of make up for lost time when they didn't have much going for them in the first half there.
Big thanks to our sponsors. Of course, our title sponsor and first down sponsor, Denver's Refrigeration, been a great supporter of Westside Athletics, and our broadcast here on Tubetown and First National Bank, our touchdown sponsor tonight, which we've had several here in this fourth quarter, as well as all of our other sponsors. Ritter Communications for allowing us the opportunity to broadcast here on Tubetown. Gain of about 5 on first down brings up second down and 5. 4:55 left to play in this game. Looking ahead for both of these teams, Pocahontas will travel to Blytheville next week, and Westside travels all the way to Highland. So a couple road trips for both of these teams. I think Westside's a little tougher road trip than Pocahontas at this point.
You would think so, but, that Blytheville team has won 2 straight. They've won 2 straight conference games, and the team gets a little bit of confidence. I think It's a long ride from Pocahontas over to Blytheville. You know, there's not an easy way to get over there. You know, it'll be a challenge, but Pocahontas will probably stay focused and go in and take care of business. Blytheville has been, you know, they were the Hootens pick to win the conference this year, and you know the wheels kind of fell off of that thing before it even got started. You know, Jeremiah Northern stepping away, and they lose a couple of other big weapons for whatever reason. You know, they're not playing, and it had to bring up a lot of ninth graders to fill the roster.
Good to see them kind of get things back on the right track over there, though.
Yeah.
Baker's got a big carry going as he gets out of bounds. Runs over Montana Neely there at the tail end of that. Picks up a new set for the Redskins. 3.5 minutes left in this game.
You mentioned the long ride for Pocahontas next week. Westside's they've got a pretty long ride themselves too. We'll be making the trip up to Highland with them to. I think this will be the first time we've broadcasted from Highland.
And another unsportsmanlike coming your way for the Warriors.
Just got to find a better outlet for that than to let your frustration boil over and let your emotions get the best of you.
That one's on Justin McFly. Well, I hope we don't see an ejection here on this one. I don't think we should. I don't think it was in that nature, but he's been big. Of course, had the scoop and score earlier in the game.
And we didn't see the heave-ho motion.
No,
so
I don't think he was ejected, which is good news.
Yeah,
but Westside's going to have to find a way to stay composed at the end of these losses.
Yeah, you've got to keep your head better. You know, there's ways to get that frustration out, as you said, tackling fuel. You know, I understand the frustration, you know, but you've got to find a better outlet for it.
I like the way they play Chippy. I think it's a good thing. They're a physical team.
Yeah.
They frustrate teams on offense. As you see, the run up the middle is a tackle for a loss, brings up second down. But, you know, it brings up frustration. I like the way they play with an edge. And I don't get too hard on teams for the occasional unsportsmanlike and maybe a little frustration here at the tail end. But it's about the third time this year at the tail end of a loss that you've had it unravel on you a little bit. And that's a discussion that they'll have as a team. That Coach Engel will address and say, guys, we got to collect ourselves here at the end and act like the professionals we are. But ultimately, you don't want to lose that edge, and they are just an edgy, little bit of a chippy team, and I like that about them.
Well, and that's a fine line. You know, when you are a team that plays with that chip on your shoulder, you've got a fine line between, you know, not letting that frustration come out the wrong way and keeping your edge, so to speak.
And these are 15 to 17, 18-year-old kids here. We had kids, and like you mentioned, that fine line.
Yeah.
You know, for you as a coach, you want them to play a little. It's physical. It's a physical game. And your Westside, you play physical football, and there is a line at some point with that edge and maybe a little that anger or chip on your shoulder you play with defensively, where it does turn a little bit negative. And we've seen that at the end of some of these losses. But I will say, you know, you play a game. It's a passionate sport. I'm a passion guy. And these are passionate kids. They care about this game. They want to win. And you see that boil over a little bit, but that's a discussion they'll have after it's over. We got a flag comes out here. It's got to be a
false start.
False start, so back them up 5 yards. 2 minutes left in this game. Seems like the last 4 have taken forever.
It's taken almost as long to play the fourth quarter as it did the entire first half.
Yeah, we finished about 45 minutes was what the first half took, and we're bordering on about an hour and a half here in the second half. But again, Westside got a chance to rebound on the road next week.
Yeah, at Highland. It'll be
our 0-4 in the conference.
Be our first opportunity to broadcast from up there. Last time Westside played over there in 2019, it just wasn't in the cards for us to go. We couldn't. It's a long trip, and all the guys that work on our crew have day jobs, and it was just almost impossible for everybody to get there.
Baker moving the football, spins off of a tackle.
How did he not step out of bounds?
I have no idea. But if that just doesn't symbolize what Connor Baker does as a runner, he gets in, but we got a flag on the field for a holding, and really that's appropriate. We have a ton of flags in this game. Pocahontas has struggled. I'll tell you, they've struggled with penalties on offense. It'll be a topic of conversation for Charles Beatty this week. And you mentioned, you don't want to go into Blytheville on the road,
Yeah.
a team that is playing better, having penalties like this.
Yeah, this you have these kind of penalties against a team that has the confidence that Blytheville has after their last couple games, and it could be bad for you in a hurry. But I'm still impressed at Connor Baker's ability to tiptoe the line over there and ballet dance around and not go out of bounds on that last play. That's some impressive footwork, even though it did get called back.
Pass out left to Carter. Carter moves past the 20, stays on his feet, and goes out of bounds. Minute 4 left to play in this game. And, man, this Pocahontas team, though, just shows you, I mean, a great effort by the West Side. But, man, in the end of the day, they're tough. They're tough offensively. They're tough defensively. No offensive scores tonight for Westside at this point.
Well, and Pocahontas, looks determined here. They're going to line up for a field goal here, put a few more points on the board.
About a 38-yarder. Kick is up.
I believe you got it.
And it's good. 38-yard field goal is good for Pocahontas, and what a kick. And that makes it 31-7 as the Redskins extend their lead. We got about a minute left in this one as the Warriors trail. We'll be right back. You're watching Westside Warriors football on Tubetown, presented by Denver's Refrigeration.
Ends with a click. And just like that, you're immersed in a world of wonder. Education, entertainment, information. Connect with family and friends from around the block or around the world. So when it's time to connect, Ritter Communications will be there to make it happen. With speeds up to 1 gig. Ritter Communications, connecting you to what's important.
31-7 is our score with a minute 4 left to play in this ball game here from Pocahontas as the Redskins extend their lead to 31-7 after what is going to be one of the more lengthy field goals you'll see in this 3-4A conference.
38-yard field goal, that, looking ahead for Pocahontas, if you can get consistent with that, that's going to be a heck of a weapon for you in the playoffs.
Short kick is up. Fair catch called for as Ashton Rasden takes it.
I think if there's more than a minute left there, you might get a penalty on that because he did call for the fair catch. There was contact, but a minute 4 left. I mean, and it's kind of what's the point,
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it wasn't anything egregious.
It wasn't anything, They just, put the brakes on a little too late and had contact. It didn't knock him to the ground or anything, so we play on.
Minute 4 left. Warriors likely just to pretty well sit on this one here.
Yeah.
A couple of late removals coming out there as Pocahontas had 13 guys on the field there. Carry by Hedger, and Hedger's taken down for second down, running clock here, so probably just a couple more snaps, and that should do it. Only one more snap here, and that'll call it good.
Call it good.
.30 seconds now left on the clock as this one comes to a close. Pitch out to Hedger, out left side. Tackle is made by the Redskins, and that will do it. So the final in this one will be 31-7 as Pocahontas scores 3 unanswered to pick up a victory here tonight over the Westside Warriors.
Yeah, Blake, the game was going to be a lot closer than what the final score indicates. 3/4 of this game, you had either a tied ball game or a one-score game, and you had fourth quarter just kind of got away from Westside for whatever reason. fatigue, penalties. The Pocahontas offense found its rhythm, and then you had the block punt, and that was kind of the death knell.
Game was tied at halftime. Great defensive effort by Westside in the first half, but a great defensive effort by Pocahontas throughout. No offensive touchdowns for Westside, as the only Warriors score coming on the Justin McFall scoop and score. And then, of course, 3 unanswered for Pocahontas, coming to finally put the dagger in this game, Marcus.
Yeah, this is, another tough loss, but you have to, you take your 24 hours, you get through it, and then you get ready for Highland next week, because you can't go into that game and not be 100% focused, because I believe Highland has yet to win a conference game, so they're going to be hungry to get any kind of success they can get, and the last thing you want to do is let one loss turn into 2.
Absolutely. As Westside comes out of here a little disappointed in the way that second half turned out. Pocahontas gets their 6th win of the season. They are 6-2 overall, 4-1 in conference, 2-5 for Westside, and 2-3 in 3-4A conference play for the Warriors. Again, they travel to Highland